So for today we're going to do lesson 12, and we're going to be solving some multi-step word problems using the standard addition algorithm, modeling with tape diagrams, and then we're going to assess the reasonableness of our answers by using some rounding. So there's a lot in there. We're going to break it up into smaller chunks. So we're going to estimate and then solve each problem. We're going to model with a tape diagram, and then we're going to explain if the answer is reasonable. Let's break this up into pieces here. So for the bake sale, Connie baked 144 cookies. Right. Esther baked 49 more cookies than Connie. Okay, so again we see that word more. So Esther's not baking 49, she's got 49 more than Connie. Okay, big difference. So first up here we're going to estimate. So about how many cookies did Connie and Esther bake? We're going to estimate by rounding each number to the nearest 10 before adding. Okay, so we see that Connie has 144. Okay. So we set that up with our tape diagram. Now Esther has 49 more than Connie. Okay. So we need to do some rounding first. So Connie first, okay, she has 144. So we're going to round this to the nearest 10. Okay, that's what it says right in the question. So we have 14 tens. We have a 4 in the ones place, so we're going to round down to 140. Okay. Now Esther's a little bit different here because we have 144 plus the 49. Okay. And we know 49 rounded to the nearest 10 becomes 50. So to find out Esther, we need to take our 140 plus the 50, we get 190. So Connie has about 140, Esther has about 190. Okay. Now our question here though is, did Connie and Esther? So we need actually a total. Okay. So now we take our 140 plus 190, okay, and we see that we get 330. So Connie and Esther baked about 330 cookies. Okay. Now part B is now asking us to find the exact number. Okay. So now again we have the same tape diagram. Okay. But now this time we need an exact number. Okay. So we see that Connie has 144. Esther, she has 144 plus 49. Okay, and again we want the exact number this time, so we need to find this total. Okay, so a couple ways we could solve this. Okay, we could find Esther's total, then add it to Connie's. What I'm going to do though is I see that I have 144 here, I have 144 here, and then I have 49 here. So I'm actually just going to add up those three numbers and save us a step. Okay. Okay. So here's Connie, and then this right here becomes Esther. So now when we go to add them up, okay, we see that we get 337 cookies. Okay. So Connie and Esther baked exactly 337 cookies. Okay, now part C here is we need to think about, is our answer reasonable? So is this 337 a reasonable answer? And we're going to compare our estimate from A to our answer in B to explain our reasoning. Okay, so looking at these two numbers, yes, our answer is reasonable. 337 is pretty close to 330. 337 would not round to 330, but it's still pretty close. So yes, my answer is reasonable. because 337 is close to 330. Again, it wouldn't round to 330, but it is pretty close. Okay, it's only 7 away. All right, so next problem here. For number 2, raffle tickets were sold for a school fundraiser to parents, teachers, and students. We have 563 tickets were sold to teachers, 888 more tickets were sold to students than to teachers. So again, we see that word more. And then 904 tickets were sold to parents. So we have exact numbers for teachers and parents, and we have more in the wording for our students here. So let's set up our tape diagram. Okay, so again, we have teachers, students, and parents. Okay, we see we have 563 to the teachers. Students were more than teachers. Okay, and again, we see that we have 888 goes in there because that's how much more. This right here is also 563. Parents, we see that they have 904, which would be that amount right there. So we need to know about how many tickets were sold to parents, teachers, and students. We're going to round each number to the nearest 100 this time to find our estimate. Okay. So teachers now, 563 rounds to 600 because of that 6 in the tens place. Now students, we have to do a little bit of combining here. So we have to take our 563 and our 888. Okay. So here, 563 rounds to 600, and 888 rounds to 900. Okay, and we can combine these two to get 1,500. Okay, so teachers have about 600, students have about 1,500, and then finally parents, we have 904, and that would round to 900. Okay, so now we need to know what is the total. Okay, so we take our 3 rounded numbers, okay, and we're going to add them up. Okay, and we get 3,000. So about 3,000 tickets were sold. Okay, so now part B. Now we need to find the exact number. Okay, so now again, I'm going to do the same thing I did in number 1. Okay, I see that I have 4 sections in my tape diagram. I have 563. I have another 563. I have 888. And then I have 904. So I can actually go ahead and add up all those 4 numbers at the same time. So 3 plus 3 is 6, plus 8 is 14, plus 4 gives us 18. So 8, carry our 10. Okay, so 1 plus 6 is 7, plus 6 is 13, 13 plus 8 becomes 21. So 1, carry over 2 hundreds. Okay, 2 plus 5 is 7, 7 plus 5 is 12, plus 8 is 20, plus 9 is 29. Okay, so this time we have exactly 2,918 tickets were sold. Okay. Now we need to again assess the reasonableness of our answer. Okay. This time we can see that if we round to the nearest 1,000, 2,918 would actually round to 3,000. Okay. So this time we have my answer is reasonable. Okay, because 2,918 rounds to 3,000. Okay, moving on to number 3. From 2010 to 2011, the population of Queens increased by 16,075. Brooklyn's population increased by 11,870 more than the population increase of Queens. So again, we see that word more. We need to estimate the total combined population increase of Queens and Brooklyn. So we see that word and. Okay, we're going to round the addends to estimate. So we have Queens, and we have Brooklyn. Okay. We can set this up. Queens increased by 6,075. Now Brooklyn increased by more. So we're going to draw Brooklyn's bar a little bit more. Okay. And we know it's 11,870 more. Okay. And we need the combined population, so we need this amount right here. Okay. So Queens, we see 6,075. Okay, and we can round that to about 16,000. Okay. Now again, for Brooklyn, we have the same thing. Okay, because remember, this is also 16,075. Okay, and then 11,870 would round to 12,000 because of that 8 in the hundreds place. Combine these and we get 28,000. Okay. Now to find the total population increase of both Queens and Brooklyn, we add the 16,000 from Queens plus the 28,000 from Brooklyn. Okay. Add that up and we get 44,000. Okay. So the population increased by about 44,000. Okay. All right, moving on to part B. Okay, now we need to find the actual total combined population increase. Okay, so this time we're going to go back to our tape diagram. Okay, and this time we're going to add 16,075 plus 16,075 plus the 11,870. So we're going to actually add up those three sections. Okay, and we get 44,020. So the population increased by 44,020. Okay, and that gives us our actual. Okay, now part C, again, we need to assess the reasonableness of our answer using the estimation. Okay, we can see that we're definitely pretty close. We're only about 20 away. So my answer is reasonable. Okay, because 44,020 rounds to 44,000. Okay, so we rounded, then added, okay, to get our estimate. And we can see that our estimate is close to our actual answer. Okay, so for our last one here, we have National Recycling Month. Now during week 2, the class collected 1,256 more cans than they did during week 1. Find the total number of cans Mr. Yardley's class collected in 4 weeks. So the first thing we need to do is we need to find out week 2. So we take week 1's amount and we add it to the 1,256. Okay, and we get 12,083. Okay, so now we add up our 4 numbers of all 4 weeks. Okay, and again, make sure all your numbers are nice and straight in a line. Okay, and we get 53,443. Okay. All right, so we have 53,443 cans were collected in 4 weeks. Okay, so for part B, you're going to go ahead and round each of the